and welcome to another episode of the Heartland Franchise Guide, your insider's guide to all things franchising and small business in the local area. I'm Blake Martin, local small business franchise owner, and your Heartland Franchise Guide. This is the place for advocacy, resources, and education on all things small business and franchising in the local area, and it's a great place for any aspiring or existing entrepreneur to stop by and learn more about the franchising industry. And that is exactly what we're going to do with our guests today, Meredith and Jeff Erickson. You are the owners of the local citywide facility services business, correct?
Facility Solutions, yes.
Facility Solutions. You know, I practiced it like 8 times in my head. As we were saying before, I really should have drank more. So, Citywide Facility Solutions, and actually that last word, solutions, matters a lot.
It does.
As we start to dig into what the business is all about. Can we start there? What do you do as a franchisee of Citywide?
So Citywide Facility Solutions provides commercial building maintenance solutions for commercial customers. And so anything from the roof to the curb, any service within a commercial facility that is required to maintain the facility's integrity, we can provide that service.
Gotcha. And who are your customers? You're probably going to answer that. Go ahead.
I was not.
We'll see if he gets it right or not, Meredith.
Wow, I'm on the spot. I know since we're live, she's not going to, maybe. Anyway, no, we have one point of contact. That's really our little value prop as well. It's very frustrating. Like Meredith said, we provide all these services with one point of contact. And our ideal client, or 90% of our clients, it's not the big buildings with professional facilities management in them. I mean, our contact could be a C-suite. It could be an office manager. It could be an HR person. And those persons are tasked with other job responsibilities as well, right?
Other full-time jobs.
And so when our person comes in there and that person needs something, whoever they report to, it could be like, why are our windows dirty? How come the parking lot doesn't have stripes in it? Why isn't this being done?
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're just left with like, I don't know, I'll try to give a call. They'll Google someone and they'll get a hold of a contractor. Contractors are busy. And a lot of times they don't get called back, but it ends up eating a lot of their time up when they do that. So we come in, we provide that one point of contact, and we have a multitude of different resources to get those jobs done for them in a timely manner. And we save them time and hopefully solve their problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thus
Eliminate
the
headaches.
solutions.
Thus the solutions.
There we go.
Literally are coming up with solutions so it's property management, landlords, or just those people who those responsibilities fall to within an office environment.
That's right.
Got it.
And when you're thinking about the variety of commercial opportunities in any given city, it could be a medical clinic. It could be an event stadium. We do, here locally, we take care of the Salt Dog Stadium in Lincoln.
Oh, no kidding.
The baseball stadium, right. So, I mean, we're not limited by anything other than our customers are all commercial as opposed to residential.
Yeah. So any business we drive by could be a customer.
That's right.
And
Hurrdat Media could be a customer.
Absolutely.
They got a big building right here. And
bada boom, right? But you mentioned property managers. I love property management, and I don't know what we're going to talk about, but our business is divided up. Meredith takes care of the sales, and I take care of more of the operations. But whenever I think I have it bad, those property managers who have everything, way more things that I'm responsible for, right? And I get to talk to them, and I just feel great every time. So if you're a property manager out there, call me. I love to hear your woes because they're always worse than mine, and it makes me feel better during
it's
the day.
It's a good segue, by the way, because I do want to make sure that we get an opportunity to promote you a little bit. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
So locally here, 402-331-1000, call our office or reach out to us via the web. We do have a landing page, gocitywide.com/Omaha. And that gives you a direct line to any question that you'd like to have answered, or if you'd like for us to come out and meet with you. Our contractors can reach out to us there as well if they're looking for work.
Okay.
And so it is a multi-purpose reach out.
Fantastic. Thank you. Now, before we get too far in, one of the threads, one of the unique components of your having found this interesting business was that you started from the inside. Now I'm looking at you, right, Meredith? So you kind of started from the inside. You were within the franchisor organization as an employee, and that was the spark that made you think, well, maybe we could be one of these franchisees, right?
That's exactly right. I actually started my career with Citywide in sales. So Citywide, it used to be Citywide Maintenance. We went through a name change and some rebranding in 2020.
Okay.
And so when I started working for Citywide as in sales, that was for the flagship location in Lenexa, Kansas. That's been in business since 1961. And the reason why we are all here today, they began franchising about a little over 25 years ago. And so we're a fairly new system. I worked for the Kansas City location, and then I moved over to Citywide Franchise. And for Citywide Franchise, I was a performance coach. So I would go out and meet with potential or new franchisees and help them get their business started.
Did you even have to go through the validation steps, like talking to other franchisees when you were making a decision to move into being an owner within the organization?
So those conversations looked much different. I mean, they were my constituents, right? So they were people that I was working with on a daily basis. Well, there's probably tears. They're like, no, does this mean you're leaving? There was a lot of consternation in the land. I did not change my phone number, so they knew they could still get a hold of me, right?
Is that how you started those conversations? Okay, first of all, still got the same mobile.
That's right. Everything stayed the same. No, it was an easy decision for us to become franchisees simply because I believed so passionately in the business that I had worked for 8 years.
Yeah.
And obviously, as a business performance coach and working directly with new and seasoned franchisees, I had an opportunity to see the financial impact, how the business was laid out, what this looked like from the inside, which is a huge benefit when you're evaluating a new opportunity. But the number one reason why we decided to do this was the opportunity that came available at the time worked perfectly for us. We lived in Kansas City. The Omaha market was for sale, and it gave us a chance to buy a business close enough to our existing home, family, et cetera, just about 3 hours north of the mothership, if you will. So
they'll never make the marketing cut there. The mothership, the support center here, the support center.
But everyone knows exactly what that means when you say mothership.
And of course, my husband is a longtime. He's a Nebraska native. He was born and raised in South Sioux City. So it just all of the stars aligned for this to be the right opportunity for us.
Can we go personal on this?
Absolutely.
So Meredith and I were together while she worked for Citywide. So I had the opportunity to travel with her a lot with my other business and kind of get to learn the Citywide model. And, it was a no-brainer for us and gave us an opportunity to get in together. So even though she has been around, prior to us owning this, I feel like I was a part of it.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be left out, Blake. That's it. I just wanted to talk a little bit, okay?
Well,
if I'm going to marry up, I'm marrying up all the way, right?
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I can honestly say that I would never have taken this risk without Jeff, even though I knew everything there was to know about the business. I'm fairly risk averse, I guess is the best way to put it. So while I knew we could do it, I needed the push, and he's great at that. So.
Jeff's the guy why wouldn't we do it?
Yes.
Well, because of this and this and this and this. Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
And when you look at the the Omaha market and you compare it to some of the other larger metropolitan areas, you asked, hey, did you guys go through the vetting or the discovery process? We did. More for me because some of the things I just didn't know, right?
Right.
And I'm like, can I make it in Omaha, Nebraska? And everyone I talked to said, Jeff, and we kind of worked through the process, and they're like, absolutely. Now it's 6 years later, right?
We're in our sixth year.
Sixth year. Mm-hmm. If you're out there listening, Omaha, Nebraska, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. We appreciate everything you've done for us and our family.
Yeah. You guys have had a lot of success with this business, haven't you?
Yeah.
And I guess part of it, to your point, if I take a step back on that comment, you had a very real understanding of what the ownership roles needed to be if you're going to be successful. And from my talking with you before, people smarter than me already deduced this, but going into this, you already knew you were going to be on the development side of things. Well, you guys both share, I think, in everything, but in the beginning, you were more on the development side, and you've been internal operations. Is that right?
So no, not exactly. I run the sales department, and in the beginning, I was the salesperson. And then Jeff, although he is a natural-born salesperson, he took on the operations side just because we had to divide the business somehow, and built a team around him. We do have a director of operations now, so he's able to step up a level and look at things a little bit differently, but. we made a great team. Now I'm looking forward to our next iteration where he'll move over and do more pure selling with me and my team and let others handle the day-to-day operation.
Got it.
Yeah.
So I was waiting for this to come out. I was going to let Meredith tell it because you asked.
Hold on.
Let's write it down. Like, let's write this down.
I'm ready.
Because your question was, of course, you knew everything and exactly how it was going to be. But it is. It's exactly how it was coming from corporate to running one of these things, wasn't it? It's exactly.
You literally almost finished that with a straight face.
Can I just say?
No business plan has ever survived its first collision with reality, right?
No.
It's just different, yeah.
It is different. And what was really interesting to me is having supported franchisees and gotten to be really good friends with many of them, some deep, long-term relationships here. I had to call a lot of my friends after we started this and apologize because I had no idea. I was humbled by the stress and the grind, if you will, of the first 2 years of our business. And, when you're supporting someone outside looking in, you think you know what all of those, nuts and bolts look like as they're putting their business together.
Yeah.
You think you understand the level of stress and all of those things, but until you're doing it, you just don't, right? And
So
we
true.
were lucky because we obviously work together very well and we've built an amazing team. But it does not mitigate that hard first couple years. That's any new business,
Agreed.
And this is, the only franchise we've owned, right? But I can't say even our support center or the mothership, as you put it. They're very supportive and they give us tons of tools, right? And even with all that, it's like, woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine doing that entirely.
I'm throwing in the real on this podcast.
Yeah.
The
Well,
real.
Hey, that's what I like. The real. That's what this is all about. What does it really look like? So, you guys have had phenomenal success, and you're obviously very grateful for it. But that did not come without some serious sacrifice.
Yeah, and I don't want us to sound like we're something special. Everyone that starts a new business absolutely goes through those same growing pains. The benefit that we've had here in Omaha is a community that has supported us tremendously, from a small business community to our banking relationships to our insurance relationships to our wealth management. There are some amazing companies in Omaha that are
Partners,
doing great things for us and other small businesses every day.
That's fantastic.
And that's one of the things, when you first start, you just try to piece it all together, right? But we are really trying to keep all our business within Omaha, Nebraska or Omaha, if at all possible. Sorry about that.
Was it, speaking of all the business and building the sales team, so everything you do is B2B, business to business. Was that a major deciding factor for you when you said we want to move forward on the fact that you could do business to business franchising or business to business small business ownership versus working directly with the consumer? Was that part of your calculus?
Absolutely. For me, it was. B2C is not a space that I want to dabble in, if that makes sense. Obviously, Citywide is strictly B2B. They've had a couple concepts here and there that have gone direct to the consumer, but nothing that's under the Citywide brand.
Gotcha.
And so, consumers... little story here, because our phone number is 402-331-1000 and our name for many years was Citywide Maintenance, we would get lots of calls from homeowners throughout the city who thought they were calling the city of Omaha.
Yeah, there's a tree down. We didn't have an office staff to speak of in the beginning, and so 2:00 in the morning, my phone would ring like, "Hey, there's a tree in the middle of the street. Can you come saw it up?"
Oh, my gosh.
So
Wow.
it just reinforced that we do like the professional relationship that you can have in a B2B situation. And then, there's other struggles with working directly with consumers. The type of work that we do, it just does not play well with that business model.
Yeah.
And so, things like payment and having to take, checks and credit cards and things like that from an individual as opposed to working with a business that understands business relationships and terms and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
there's a financial component. There is a comfort level with being able to, I don't want to be a direct marketer. I don't want to have direct mail. I don't want to have that sort of component to my business.
Yeah.
When I'm dealing directly with a professional buyer, whether they be, like he talked about, someone, in HR that has to go and find someone to clean their building or take care of their parking lot or whatever, and they're not used to dealing with that particular service, procuring it, or someone who procures that service all the time. It's just a cleaner conversation when you're talking to a business.
Yeah, pun intended. Cleaner conversation.
And some more real.
Yeah.
Real.
REAL, REEL. Go ahead.
Yeah.
However you want to do it, patent pending, trademark. Well,
I'm getting the royalty on that.
Of course you are. Everyone wants a royalty from us. Welcome to the franchise world, right? No, it's also that reoccurring revenue model, which is, wonderful.
Yeah.
Just from the standpoint you do something and it's generating revenue over and over. So our model is different. It's that cleaning over and over and over, right? But then also what really rang true to my heart is I just like helping people out. So a couple of the questions we ask, and this is not exactly how it is in the manual, right? But I'll say it. But it's basically like, Blake, are you what vendors are you struggling with? We're not here to replace anyone, or you have to do everything through us. But where are your struggles? How can I help there?
Yeah.
And then basically, what's next? What can I help you with? It's a year-end budget. What do you need to get done here? So it spoke to me as a person to help. And so that other side is great. You have the reoccurring revenue model, and then you get to go out and help people. So as we bring our account managers in, they either have to like to support people or not necessarily sell, but they have to have that heart that they want to take care of things and become a problem solver, because that's all we want to do, right? We want to come in and just take as many of those problems away as we can for our clients.
He always says, we're going to solve problems and they're going to give us a little bit of money to do that for them. And that resonates with me because I can think of 10 things that are on my plate today that I would happily pay someone else to do. And we all have those things. And when you are speaking with business owners or business advocates, that list gets even longer. So that's really our value prop is we represent our client and we take things off their plate so they can focus on their own businesses.
So what's next for you as citywide franchise owners?
Continuing more of the same. Our business is, we just finished our 5th year in July. We have some pretty lofty goals for our first 10 years of our agreement. So we have 5 years to make that happen. And so we are uniquely focused on that right now. But who knows what's next? There's always something brewing in Mr. Ericksons' head. So he'll tell me sometime.
I have a feeling it's brewing in both of your heads.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Well, we could go on and on with reels.
Let's keep it going
for hours.
This is great, man.
I just can't do it anymore, Meredith.
Oh man, I knew it. I knew it'd come to an end.
I do have one more question, though. I'm
trying to look and see what you're going to ask me here.
No, I don't even write it down. This is the one that you didn't see in the prefab. No, I appreciate you being here, and thank you. So I promise this will be the last question. And it's an easy question, but it's a thought-provoking one, I hope. And that is, what do you hope your 80-year-old self says about you?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the one thing, and this isn't me, it's citywide, but we, all citywide, as well as the mothership, the home office, the support center, we believe in the ripple effect, right? So when we come in, we're going to build a business. How does it impact us, our family, our grandkids, our contractors, our employees, their families, the community? That's charity. Mm-hmm. You've seen me at several events, but how big of a ripple can we make when we're 80 and I'm rolling around in a wheelchair or one of those scooters? I hope I can afford a scooter at that point. I hope I'm cool, right? But I just want to be known for a huge, huge ripple in the market and a blessing to not just us, but tons of other people that we work with. They're all our stakeholders.
Yeah, very poignant.
And then
beat that.
We just got a window into the home life here.
Is it a contest?
Well, maybe. I don't win it. I don't win it a lot.
On the development
I don't win it a lot. Yeah.
No, he's 100% right. The ripple is not just lip service for our organization. It certainly is not lip service for Citywide of Omaha. There's causes that are near and dear to our hearts, but none more important than what kind of an impact can we have for our employees and their families and for our contractors and their families? That's our core. They're our family, right? So at 80 years old, I want to look back and see other successful business owners that have come from the people that, came up through our ranks, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We are constantly evaluating our employees to say, what is a good opportunity for this wonderful human who took the chance to work for Jeff and Meredith Erickson, right? And then the contractors that support us, we can't do the work we do without them.
Right.
And often they are small business owners just like us, just a little bit behind where we are. And so I want to see their businesses blow up and flourish and then be able to go on and do things for their families so that the ripple just begins to expand and expand and expand. And then it becomes a flywheel and we don't have to keep doing it. It does it on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. I'm so glad I asked that question to both of you. That is a heartfelt response. So
happy I could answer it. That was on tip of the tongue right there.
Nailed it.
That came from the heart. Yeah.
Thank you both so much. Not
Thank you.
just for that answer, but for
Thanks.
all of your advice and experiences. I know it'll guide our listeners well. So appreciate your time.
Is it 2 hours over already?
Yeah. 2 hours. I know.
That went fast.
I know it feels more like 3 hours with me. But.
No, that went fast.
So our 2-hour episode is over. This is where I wrap up. Thank you all for joining. Again, a big thanks to Meredith and Jeff Erickson for being a part of our episode today and volunteering their time to share their experiences. And I want to thank all of you for being here for another episode of the Heartland Franchise Guy. Remember, don't keep us a secret. Don't keep Jeff and Meredith and Citywide Facility Solutions a secret. Share, follow, like this episode, particularly with folks who you think could benefit from it. We will see you all here again very soon on another episode of the Heartland Franchise Guy.